Okay, I'm not going to be making any extravagant floral arrangements. I'm not going to be tying any ribbon around miniature hay bales, and I'm not going to be gluing anything from the Dollar Tree onto anything else. I don't have a lot of time. I don't want to be doing all that, but I do want my house to look nice and cozy and fall-like. I do want all of the fall vibes, but the older I get, the more simple I want things. I like the more livable and realistic way of decorating. How I like to decorate for fall is what I would call the easy way to do it. And if you feel the same way, today I want to share with you my tips and tricks on how I do that. Now, we're not decorating the entire house. I don't do that. So some people do that, and that's great if you do, but I like to do it the easier way, and I don't want to have to clean up an entire house that's redecorated. I only want certain spots that are decorated, not an entire overhaul. Disclaimer, if you like to do crafts and you like to decorate every square inch of your house for all of the holidays or all of the seasons, that's okay. That's great. You keep doing that. But some people don't want to do all that. I'm one of those people. I don't have a ton of decor either. Our house burned probably 5-6 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. We lost most of our decor as it was in the attic, and every single thing in the attic was destroyed. So what I've done since then is I tried to have a minimal amount. And granted, I am not a minimalist. I like my things. I like my stuff. I like to decorate, and I like to have options. Another thing is that I have a very small house. So having a small house also helps you not bring in so much stuff, or at least it does for me, because I'm thinking to myself, where am I going to put this? There's limited amount of space. So there's a limit to the amount of stuff I can bring in here. The first category we're going to talk about is decorating outside. Now, you can totally skip decorating outside because most of the time I do. So for the fall, the only thing that I do is I put a wreath up and I put a doormat. Now, I used to not put a doormat out. This is the first year that I've had a fall doormat since the house fire, which was like 5 or 6 years ago. And that is because I don't go crazy every season buying everything. So I try to only buy a couple of things each season, maybe to add to what I already have. I don't want to revamp my whole decorating style every single season. I want to use what I have, even if it's not the trendy thing to use at the moment. If I like it, I'm going to use it. So this year I bought a mat. Now, I wish this mat was a little bit bigger, but it works for the purposes. I actually think the orange goes with the blue door. And this wreath that I have on the door, I bought that wreath from Amazon, probably 3 years ago. I'll see if I can find a link for it. I probably should get a new wreath because I think the sun has bleached this one out a little bit, but I want to get as much use as I can out of it, and I still like it. Now, the only other thing that I add to this is that sometimes I will put a lit jack-o'-lantern in the corner whenever it is Halloween and the kids are trick-or-treating, because it's just kind of fun to stick that out there. But otherwise, I just leave it with the doormat and the wreath because I have a very, very small entryway to my house. There's just not a lot of room for anything else. Other things you can do is you can grab yourself a couple of mums in pots. They're usually on sale everywhere. Every time we go to the grocery store, there's a ton of them sitting out front. You don't even have to do multiple. If you want to, you can. Grab a pot of the mums and then grab a pumpkin, stick it out there. It's instant Halloween or instant fall. And again, I don't do much of that because there's just not a lot of room in my entryway and people would not be able to get to my door. Now we're going to move into the inside of the house, and we're going to talk about some lazy ways to decorate on the inside. Now, I will preface this with most of the things that I use are store-bought. You don't have to do that. You can use what you have. You can go outside and gather some leaves and some pine cones and sticks, things like that if you want to do all those things. And I used to do that as well, but those things take time. And right now, at this stage in my life, I just don't have a lot of time. I work full-time. I do YouTube. I also have grandchildren that I like to spend time with. I am picking the things that I want to spend a lot of time with. And while I still do want to decorate, I have fun with it, I love it, I don't want to spend an entire day or an entire week trying to make over my entire house, so I do buy a few things. Now, an easy way to decorate for fall inside is to grab yourselves a couple of new pillow covers. So this is new for me this year. I have actually never changed my pillow covers out for fall. I usually just decorate my mantle, but like I said before, I try to add a little bit onto it every year, but the throw pillows really do make a big difference. So I bought mine in orange. You can buy them in any color. I kind of like orange for the fall. Now, is orange my favorite color? No, it's actually probably my least favorite color, but for some reason, I'm okay with it in the fall, and I really like that warm color in the fall, especially with all the candles and all the lights lit up. The next thing you could do is to throw a throw over your seating in your living room or inside of your house somewhere. So I did not actually buy a new one for the fall. I just used one that I already had, which is this sort of black and white throw, and then I had another cream colored throw. Now I kind of switched around the places to where it would look better with the pillows that I have and the colors of the pillows I have now, but just see if you can find something that you already have that's sort of a warm color. A lot of times the dollar stores will have those really fluffy throws on sale, and you can probably find one with like a fall leaf print or in a fall color scheme. So that would work as well, and they're really inexpensive. The next tip is to use battery operated candles. I love my battery operated candles. I have them in several different colors. I have some that are kind of a gray color, which I will put out during Halloween. And then I have some that are in a cream color. I also have some tapered ones that go on candlesticks. I love them because you can turn them on and you don't have to worry about your house burning down because you've accidentally left a candle on. So I will put a couple of links to the ones that I like and that I have and have used. The only thing that's a problem is I always seem to forget that I have them on, and every time that I go back to turn them on, the batteries are dead. So maybe set yourself an alarm to turn them off later. Some of them do have timers, and I think mine do, but I always lose the remotes to them. So I don't know. Let me know. Do you also lose every remote you've ever had? Maybe it's just me. All right, so the next thing that I like to decorate is my mantle. And I'm always going to do the mantle even if I do nothing else, which is what I did for many, many years. I just decorated the mantle because that was enough for me. So for a long time, I've just gone to the Dollar Tree or the dollar store and gotten those fake foliage garlands. And I've usually gotten a bunch of them. You buy several of them and you kind of smush them all together and it makes things full. And then I've bought the little sprigs or sprays from the Dollar Tree, and then I combined everything together to make it as full as I possibly could. So bigger is better. If you get something for your mantle, try not to get anything skimpy. That's where it kind of just looks a little bit, not great. The more full you can make your arrangements or your foliage, the better that it looks, in my mind. If you think opposite, do opposite. Totally fine with me. I feel like the fuller it is, the better it looks. And so I would just use my Dollar Tree stuff. This year, I actually sprung for some new garland, and I got 2 of them. You don't necessarily need 2, but you know, I always think more is better when it comes to floral arrangements. And I was pleasantly surprised that they came with these little fairy lights that you put in there, and they're battery operated, and they put off quite a bit of light. Not everybody has a plug-in or an electric outlet behind their mantle. Sometimes you have all of your stuff on your mantle, and then you have like a power cord that goes all the way down. It just ruins the whole look of everything. So battery powered lights are the way to go. I will 100% stand by that. Now, did I add my orange lights to it later? Yes, I did, because I really like the orange lights. Now, some people might think that's tacky. I don't care. If it's tacky for you, don't do it. But if you like that orange glow and it kind of gets you into that sort of fall vibe feeling, go for it, because I love mine. I turn mine on every year. Even before I got the battery powered ones, I would just run the cord over to the electrical outlet, and then I would just try to ignore that part of it. But I'm telling you, battery powered lights for the mantle are the way to go. Now, another thing that I will do with my garland is that I will mix things together. So this year I mixed a little bit of my Dollar Tree foliage and a little bit of my Dollar Tree sprigs in with my other store-bought garland. So while I did upgrade my garland, I still wanted to add a little bit of something to it. So what I'm saying is that you can mix things together. Don't be afraid to buy some cheap stuff at the Dollar Tree and add it into the stuff that you already have. Or if you're purchasing something from Amazon, you don't have to purchase things, all fancy things. It's okay to mix things together. And sometimes that just makes it look even better. And also, I don't go and decorate the coffee table. Now, you can if you want to. Now, I feel like my decorating style is more logical and realistic. I'm not saying if you decorate your coffee table, it's not logical and realistic. Don't get me wrong. I think those are beautiful, but we use the coffee table, and I don't want just decor there just for the sake of having decor there. I mean, yeah, there are places in my house where I have decor just for the sake of having decor, but that decor isn't somewhere that would get in the way of something, if that makes sense. So, for example, I don't have my nightstand full of decor because I'm going going to put my water bottle on there. I'm going to put my eye drops on there. I'm going to put my earbuds on my nightstand. I want a place to put all my stuff whenever I want it there. So I have my lamp there, and sometimes I'll put a little decorative item, but I don't want it covered in decor. And that's the same way with the coffee table. If people come over to our house, we have the coffee table there for them to put their drinks on. So on the side table in the living room, I have things like my coasters and a few decorative items there along with my lamp, because that's not a place that people need to put a lot of stuff on. So there's really only one person that kind of sits in that corner and they can still put their drink there. But the coffee table, I just don't want it cluttered with a lot of stuff. That's just me. Maybe other people aren't like me. Maybe I'm weird. That does not surprise me. All right, let's talk about the bathroom. Now, I don't do a lot in the bathroom either. I might put a little pumpkin in there, a little decorative pumpkin, and I will usually change out the candle. So we have a candle warmer in the bathroom because I think it's nice when people come over to turn the candle warmer on, and it just gives a nice little scent coming out of the hall bathroom. So I change it every season. Now, I've probably used the same candles for the last 3 years because I just don't use candles that often. I like to use little warmers because there's not like a fire hazard or anything, but I change the candle out through the seasons, and that's basically what I do. Of course, you can decorate more, but if you're still watching this video, you probably have a similar style that I have where you just want to keep things simple and not overdone, and this is what I do. All right, we're going to move into the kitchen. And so what I do for the kitchen is I'm just going to add a couple little fake pumpkins. And these are just pumpkins that I found a set of on Amazon. I think it was last year maybe, or the year before. I can't remember, but I'll try to find them. I'm not doing anything big. I'm going to change out the little thing that I have in the middle of my table. Usually it has a little spring flower in there and maybe a candy dish. So I'm just going to change that out. So the candle, instead of being a lemon candle there, I'm going to put a fall candle. And I actually do light that one in the kitchen every now and then. So that one does actually get put to use. So I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to add the little pumpkins up there. And sometimes I change the candles out in the kitchen like we talked about earlier. I will change them for the gray ones in Halloween or the cream ones for Thanksgiving or just fall. But that's really basically the only thing I do for Halloween. I do have these little plastic skulls that I put up because I love Halloween. If that's not your thing, don't go for the skulls then. But I just like to put little funny touches here and there, and I just think it's fun. And let's talk about color palettes for a minute. I like the orange. It's classic fall vibe, but not everybody likes that, and that is totally fine. Like I said, it's not my favorite color, but for some reason, it's fine and I like it in the fall. But if that's not your thing, don't do that. I have also seen some really pretty decorated houses for fall with white pumpkins or blue, like that pale blue. Sage green is pretty, and like the gourds, and not gourds, is gourds the name of them? You know, the different kind of squashes. They all come in different colors. You can tell that I'm not a vegetable expert, but they all kind of come in all these like light pastel colors. You can get real ones, or you can just buy a set that are colored like that and use those as decorations. So basically you can decorate in the color you like. You do not have to have these traditional fall colors. Use the colors that you like and don't feel like you have to go with orange for it to be nice and warm and cozy. All right, let's talk about a few decorating hacks. I just have a few that I want to share with you. Don't be afraid of the faux foliage or faux flowers or anything like that. Like I've talked about before, I buy the garlands because I am not going to put together a real garland. Just not going to do it. It's too messy. It's too time consuming. I'm not going to do it. So just buy faux foliage or garlands, or if you just want to go out and gather some sticks, use the sticks. That would be cool too. You can even spray paint sticks on the mantle, would actually look kind of cool. So don't be afraid to mix things up a bit, and don't think you have to have real plants or that you have to buy anything. You can use some stuff from nature as well. And the next tip is about mixing Halloween decorations with fall decorations. So I like to go ahead and put all of my Halloween stuff up, but it can double as the fall decor. So I don't have a lot of Halloween decor, but I do have some little touches here and there. So like the little skulls, I change out the taper candles. I change them into black candles instead of the cream candles. So what I do is I decorate for Halloween first, and then when Halloween is is over, all I'm doing is switching out the candles and then taking off the little skulls. But the pumpkins are there for both, and the greenery is there for both. I don't have two different, completely different ways of decorating for Halloween and fall. Now, if you do like to do that, you can go ahead and do that, because some people use purples and blacks and things like that for Halloween, and it's a totally different look. For me, I want to go the simple route and the easier route, and that is to do something that will work for both, and then just take those little Halloween decor things out of the picture once it's over. Now, I did go a little extra this year because I just had this epiphany that I would buy these little faux blackbirds or little crows from Amazon, and they're just these little fake little birds that I got. But I have these old bird cages. They were my mom's, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun to sort of wire up these little birds in that bird cage to make it look like they were ravens, and it would kind of give this Halloween vibe. So I did do that this year, and I already had these LED candles, and I think it really turned out really great. I put one on top of our hall tree up there, but I'm really happy about how that turned out. It was really easy. I just basically used the bird cage that I had, and I bought the little birds from Amazon, and they weren't expensive, and that's really it. It didn't take me very long at all to be able to do that. So that's what I'm talking about. Just do little touches here and there and keep it simple. I also don't change the wreath out, so the wreath will work for both Halloween and for fall, and I just leave them out. The only thing I do differently is to put that jack-o'-lantern out on Halloween so that the kids coming up to the door can see the lit jack-o'-lantern, and it's just fun. And that's literally it. Once Halloween is over, I take that and I put it up, and then everything else out there still stays the same. Another thing you can do is repurpose food as decor. So get yourself a bushel of, is it a bushel? I think it's a bushel of apples. So put them in a bowl and just put them in the middle of your kitchen table. That's all you have to do really to decorate for fall in the kitchen. It's just a nice touch, and it's really simple. You could also do the same thing with pine cones. Go outside and find some pine cones. That's what I used to do. You can spray paint them. You can leave them natural. You can just put them in a bowl. Now, I think some people like to bleach them. I'm not going to be doing all that. That's too much trouble for me. If you want to, go ahead. But if you're going for simple, just get some acorns and pine cones and things like that and put them in a bowl somewhere. Now, I don't think you want to leave them in your house forever, because I think they could have little critters on them and bugs and stuff like that. But for a little bit, I think they kind of look nice. Sometimes if you have some like scent oil, you can put that on there as well. And if you're really feeling lazy and you want to go the simple route, it's okay to just put a candle out, because I'm telling you that the scent of your house can really make a big difference. And if you want that sort of fall feel, you want to put a pumpkin scented candle out, go ahead and do that. Now, on one of my videos, I kind of got some pushback on the candle thing. If candles are not your thing, you don't have to do the candles. It's okay. But if you're okay with candles, just put a fall candle out. Or you can do the simmering spices. Some of the other people had made comments about simmering the spices. You can do that too. I've actually never tried that. So if you have like a good recipe for that, I would love for you to put in the comments below, because I will try that out, as long as it's simple, because I don't want to work for it too long. I just want a nice, cozy, warm scent. And if you've got an easy thing like the simmering pot or whatever, just let me know in the comments. Another couple things is if you just go to the Dollar Tree or the dollar store, they probably have like new tea towels that are fall themed. Grab yourself a couple of kitchen towels and just replace the ones you have. That is your kitchen decor. And grab a pumpkin or do your basket of apples or bowl of apples, put that in the middle of your table. That's it. What else do you need in there? And now you're going to still feel that fall vibe without having to do very much. So basically, you do not have to decorate your whole house. I'm giving you permission that you do not have to go overboard, and simple additions to your decor, even just one or two things, that can give you the fall vibe, and that's plenty. Don't feel like you're not doing enough by not redecorating your entire house. You can still have a classically decorated house. It looks nice and tasteful by just adding a few things here and there. And in my opinion, it's actually really nice to just have a few things that you're using. You don't have to stress out about, well, I have this, I want to put this out, well, I have this too, and trying to put out every bit of decor that you have and decorate everything. It's just nice to have a limited amount of decor to pick from, because it just feels a little bit less stressful to me, and maybe it would for you too. All All right, so let me know in the comments, what is your favorite lazy fall decor item that you like to do? I'm curious. I really want to know what you think and what you do. And if it's different from mine, I would just love to know. Also, if you're a Halloween person, I really want to know how spooky you go. Like, do you go with the really creepy stuff, the creepy vibe, or do you go with the fun vibe? I'm just curious. All right, that's all I've got for this video. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.